I'm standing here today as just a man, stripped of all titles and achievements and everything the world knows me for, asking you the most vulnerable question I've ever asked anyone. Can I be your future husband? Not because of what I've built or what I own or what people say about me, but because of who I am when everything else falls away. I'm asking if you can see the person underneath all the noise, the human being who's been searching for genuine love his entire life, the soul that's been lonely despite being constantly surrounded by people. Before you answer, before you make any decisions or judgments, I need you to hear my heart completely. I need you to understand what kind of partner I would be, what kind of love I'm capable of giving, and what I'm really offering you. Because this isn't about convenience or status or anything transactional. This is about two people choosing each other, building something real together, creating a partnership that matters more than anything else. I've been hurt deeply, betrayed completely, left alone repeatedly by people I thought would stay. Standing here asking you this question feels like handing you every vulnerable piece of myself and trusting you won't destroy them. But I'm doing it anyway because something tells me you're different. Something tells me you might be the one person who can love me for who I truly am, not for anything I represent or possess. So I'm asking you with everything I have, can I be the person you choose? Can I be the one you build dreams with? Can I be your future husband? Let me start by telling you about my loyalty, because I believe it's the foundation of how I love. When I commit to someone, when I give my heart and make that choice, it's absolute and unwavering. I don't have backup plans. I don't keep one foot out the door. I don't look for exits or protect myself with emotional distance. When I love completely, with every fiber of my being dedicated to making us work and building something that lasts. You might have heard about my past relationships, the ones that ended, the marriages that didn't survive, the heartbreaks I've experienced. And I won't lie to you or pretend those failures don't exist. But what people don't see is how hard I fought in each of those relationships, how long I stayed trying to make things work, how many compromises I attempted, how desperately I wanted to succeed at building lasting love with someone. I didn't give up easily. My loyalty wouldn't let me walk away without exhausting every possibility, trying every solution, fighting for us until it became clear that staying was hurting both people more than leaving would. That same loyalty is still here, stronger and wiser now, waiting for the right person to give it to. And I'm hoping with everything in me that person is you. My loyalty means I'll be there for you during the hardest moments, not just the easy, happy times. When life gets difficult, when you're struggling, when you need someone who won't abandon you, I'll be that person. I've learned through painful experience that fair weather love is worthless. Anyone can be supportive when things are going well, when everything's exciting and new and effortless. Real loyalty shows up when circumstances turn dark, when supporting your partner costs you something, when staying requires sacrifice and effort, and choosing them over easier alternatives. That's the kind of loyalty I'm offering you, the kind that doesn't waver when tested, the kind that gets stronger through challenges rather than breaking under pressure. I want to be the person you can count on absolutely, the one you never have to question or doubt, the partner whose commitment remains steady regardless of external circumstances. Let me tell you how I love, because I think you deserve to know exactly what being with me would mean. I love intensely. When I care about someone, they become my priority in ways that might seem overwhelming to some people but would hopefully feel cherishing to you. I think about you constantly. I notice details about what makes you happy, what stresses you, what you need to feel supported and valued. I remember conversations and follow up on things you mentioned mattering to you. I make time even when my schedule is impossible because you matter more than any meeting or deadline. I show up consistently and reliably because actions speak louder than words, and I want you to feel love through what I do, not just what I say. I'm protective without being controlling, wanting to shield you from harm while respecting your independence and agency. I celebrate your victories as enthusiastically as my own, because your happiness genuinely matters to me as much as my own does. But I also love imperfectly, and I need you to know my flaws before you make any decisions. I can be difficult when I'm stressed or overwhelmed by work pressure. I sometimes get so absorbed in solving problems that I'm not fully present, even when we're together. I have a tendency to intellectualize emotions rather than just feeling and expressing them, which can create distance when connection is what's needed. I'm not naturally romantic in traditional ways. I struggle with grand gestures and remembering anniversaries and doing the kinds of things that movies teach us love should look like. I work too much, care too deeply about missions and projects that consume enormous amounts of time and energy, say things on social media that generate criticism and scrutiny that affects anyone close to me. I come with baggage, complications, a public life that makes privacy difficult, past hurts that have left scars affecting how I trust and open up. I'm asking if you can love me despite all of that. If my strengths outweigh my weaknesses in your eyes. If who I am is enough, even with all the imperfections. I want to ask you directly, which of my habits do you see as good, and which is bad? Because I genuinely want to know how you perceive me. Do you see my intense focus on work as admirable dedication or problematic obsession? Does my protectiveness feel caring or suffocating? Is my loyalty attractive or does it seem naive given how many times it's been exploited? When I overthink and analyze everything, does that seem intelligent or exhausting? When I'm blunt and direct about my thoughts and feelings, is that refreshing honesty or uncomfortable lack of filter? I need your honest perspective because I want to be a good partner to you specifically. And that means understanding how you experience my qualities and adjusting where I can without losing who I fundamentally am. I'm not asking you to change me or fix me or accept behavior that hurts you. I'm asking what you genuinely think about who I am, so we can figure out together if this could work. Tell me what you think makes someone a good husband, and let me know if you see those qualities in me. Do you value loyalty above everything else? Because I have that in abundance. Do you need someone who will fight for the relationship even when it's hard? I'll do that without hesitation. Do you want a partner who's passionate about making the world better? That drive defines everything I do. Do you need someone who will be honest even when the truth is uncomfortable? I don't know how to be anything other than direct. Do you want to be with someone who sees you as an equal partner, not someone to control or diminish? I respect strength and independence and want that in my partner. But if you need someone who works normal hours, who can give you constant attention and presence, who doesn't come with public scrutiny and complicated circumstances, then I'm probably not the right choice for you. And I need to know that now before either of us invests more hope in something that can't work. Here's what I'm really asking beneath the surface question of whether I can be your husband. Do you see value in who I am as a human being, separate from everything external? When you look at me, do you see someone worth choosing, worth loving, worth building a life with? Can you imagine waking up next to me for decades, navigating life's challenges together, creating memories and experiences in a shared history that matters more than any individual achievement? Do you believe I'm capable of being a good partner despite my flaws and complications? Can you trust that my love for you would be genuine and lasting, not dependent on circumstances or conditional on you being perfect? Because I'm not looking for perfect. I'm looking for real. I'm looking for someone who's willing to build something authentic with me, knowing it will require work and compromise and patience and commitment from both of us. I want you to know what I'm offering isn't just a relationship or marriage in the conventional sense. I'm offering partnership with someone who will support your dreams as fiercely as my own. I'm offering loyalty that won't break even when tested severely. I'm offering honesty even when it's uncomfortable because I believe real intimacy requires truth. I'm offering my whole heart despite knowing how badly it can hurt when things don't work out. I'm offering the chance to build something meaningful together, to be teammates in life, to matter profoundly to each other. I'm offering my time, which is genuinely the most valuable thing I have to give because there's never enough of it. I'm offering protection and support and someone who will fight for you and us against whatever challenges arise. I'm offering imperfect but genuine love from someone who's learned through painful experience what matters and what doesn't. But I also need things from you if this is going to work. I need honesty about your feelings and needs because I can't read minds and I'll inevitably miss things unless you tell me directly. I need patience when I'm difficult or overwhelmed or not showing up the way you deserve. I need you to have your own life and purpose and identity because I can't be someone's entire world and I don't want you to be mine either. We need to be two complete people who enhance each other's lives. I need you to be strong enough to handle public scrutiny and criticism because being with me means dealing with that reality. I need loyalty that matches mine, commitment that doesn't waver when things get hard. I need you to believe in what I'm trying to accomplish even when it seems impossible or crazy to everyone else. I need you to call me out when I'm wrong or being unreasonable, rather than just accepting everything to keep peace. I need partnership, real partnership, not someone who just accommodates or follows or loses themselves in my life. So let me tell you about the habits and qualities I have that might make me a good husband, and you tell me honestly if these matter to you. I'm fiercely protective of people I love. If someone hurts you, or threatens you, or tries to take advantage of you, they'll have to go through me. I don't do this in controlling ways. I do it because your well-being matters to me, and I have resources and capability to shield you from certain kinds of harm. Does that appeal to you, or does it feel like too much? I'm curious about everything and love having deep conversations about ideas, philosophy, the future, how things work, what matters and why. I could talk for hours about topics that fascinate us both, exploring thoughts and possibilities together. Is that something you'd enjoy, or would it feel exhausting? I value intelligence and respect partners who challenge my thinking and offer perspectives I haven't considered. I want to be with someone who makes me smarter and sees things I miss. Do you see yourself as that kind of intellectual partner? I'm not materialistic despite having significant resources. Money is a tool for accomplishing things that matter, not something I collect or hoard or use to measure worth. I live relatively simply compared to what would be possible at my resource level. Does that matter to you one way or another? I'm driven by mission and purpose rather than comfort or conventional success. Making humanity multiplanetary, solving sustainable energy, advancing technology in ways that help people, these things drive me at fundamental levels that won't change. Can you respect and support those drives even when they take me away from you sometimes? I believe in working on problems directly rather than just talking about them. If something's broken, I want to fix it. If something needs building, I want to build it. Does that action-oriented approach fit with how you see the world? I'm not religious in traditional ways, but I'm deeply thoughtful about existence, consciousness, the nature of reality, humanity's place in the universe. I think about mortality and meaning and what we're all doing here. Those questions matter to me. Do they matter to you too? I have dark humor sometimes, finding comedy in absurdity and difficulties because laughter helps process things that would otherwise be overwhelming. Does my sense of humor work for you, or does it seem inappropriate? I'm more comfortable with silence than most people. I don't need constant conversation or entertainment. I can sit quietly with someone I care about and feel completely content. Is comfortable silence something you value, or would you need more verbal connection? I struggle with emotional expression sometimes. I feel things deeply, but translating feelings into words doesn't come naturally. I'm working on this, getting better at it, but it's still a challenge. Can you be patient with me learning to communicate emotions more effectively? I'm intensely focused when working on problems, to the point where I might not hear you talking to me or notice what's happening around me. It's not intentional rudeness, it's just how my brain works when engaged with complex challenges. Does that level of focus seem problematic or understandable to you? I have very little tolerance for inefficiency or doing things poorly when they could be done well. I push people, including myself, to higher standards. Would that drive you crazy, or would you appreciate being challenged to your best? I don't forget things easily. If you tell me something matters to you, I'll remember it 6 months later and follow up. If you share a dream or goal, I'll ask about progress and offer support in making it happen. Does that attentiveness feel caring or intense? I'm terrible at small talk and social niceties. I'd rather have one meaningful conversation than dozens of superficial interactions. Does that preference align with yours, or would you miss more social connection? I believe in direct communication over subtle hints. If you want something or need something or feel something, I need you to tell me clearly, rather than expecting me to interpret signals. Can you communicate that directly? Let me ask you about your perception of specific situations. When I work until 2 a.m. solving a critical problem, do you see that as impressive dedication or concerning workaholism? When I speak bluntly about my opinions, even knowing it will generate criticism, does that seem courageously authentic or recklessly controversial? When I invest in ambitious projects that most people think are impossible, does that appear admirably visionary or foolishly risky? When I maintain relationships with my children's mothers for co-parenting, does that seem maturely responsible or complicatedly messy? When I'm active on social media sharing thoughts and engaging with people, does that feel authentically transparent or inappropriately unfiltered? Your answers to these questions matter because they'll determine whether my reality fits with what you actually want in a partner. I need to know what kind of love you're looking for so I can tell you honestly whether I can provide it. Do you need someone who's constantly available and present? Because I can't be that given my responsibilities, though I'll prioritize time with you as much as humanly possible. Do you need traditional romance with flowers and surprise dates and grand gestures? Because that's not my natural language, though I'll try to learn it if it matters to you. Do you need someone whose life is simple and private? Because mine isn't and won't be, though I'll protect our relationship's privacy as much as I can. Do you need emotional availability and vulnerability immediately? Because I need time to build that trust, though I'm committed to getting there. Do you need someone without baggage or past hurts affecting how they love? Because I have significant baggage, though I'm actively working through it. What I can offer is absolute loyalty once we've built trust, commitment that doesn't waver when circumstances change or challenges arise, support for your goals and dreams as enthusiastically as I pursue my own, honesty even when it's uncomfortable because I believe truth builds stronger foundations than convenient lies, protection and advocacy when you need someone in your corner fighting for you, resources to help you accomplish things that matter to you, not as transactions but because your success brings me genuine joy, intellectual partnership and stimulating conversation about ideas and possibilities, respect for your independence and encouragement to maintain your own identity and purpose, patience with my flaws if you'll be patient with yours, willingness to work on our relationship consistently because nothing worthwhile comes without effort, and love, imperfect but genuine, from someone who's learned through painful experience what matters and what doesn't. I want to talk about what daily life with me would actually look like, because I think you need realistic expectations rather than romanticized fantasies. Some mornings I'll wake up at 4 because my mind is racing with problems that need solving. I might already be working when you wake up, absorbed in something complex and challenging. Can you handle that without feeling neglected or unimportant? Because you're not unimportant. My brain just works this way, and it's not personal. Some evenings I'll have to take calls or handle emergencies that can't wait. Rockets don't care about dinner plans and production problems don't pause for date night. Can you be flexible and understanding when work intrudes on our personal time? Because it will intrude regularly even though I'll minimize it as much as possible. Some weeks I'll travel constantly, moving between locations for different projects and responsibilities. You might not see me for days at a time even though we're technically together. Can you maintain connection during physical separation without feeling abandoned? Because the distance isn't about you, it's about the scope of what I'm trying to accomplish. Some conversations we have will be interrupted by my phone or by thoughts about work that I can't shut off. I'm not trying to be rude, I'm just genuinely struggling to balance focus between what matters personally and what matters professionally. Can you accept that sometimes you'll have partial attention rather than complete focus? Because I'll try to be present but won't always succeed perfectly. Some of your friends and family might have opinions about me based on media coverage or public perception rather than knowing me personally. You might find yourself defending our relationship to people who question whether being with me is wise or healthy. Can you handle that pressure without letting it poison what we're building? Because external opinions will come, whether we want them or not. Some days I'll be dealing with public criticism or controversies that affect my mood and energy levels. I might be stressed or frustrated or emotionally drained from fighting battles that have nothing to do with you but still impact how I show up in our relationship. Can you support me through those difficulties without taking on the weight of problems that aren't yours to solve? Some events or dinners or gatherings will be professionally necessary, rather than personally enjoyable. You might find yourself at functions where networking matters more than fun, where our presence serves strategic purposes even though we'd both rather be home. Can you handle that aspect of being partners with someone whose life has significant professional dimensions? Because I'll make sure we also have private time that's just ours. The public obligations will exist too. Some decisions I make will generate intense reactions from people who feel entitled to opinions about every choice I make. Being associated with me means being associated with that scrutiny. Can you develop thick enough skin to not let strangers' judgments affect your well-being or our relationship? But here's what else daily life with me includes that I think matters more than the challenges. Morning coffee together when schedules allow, talking about plans for the day or thoughts we had overnight. Quick messages throughout busy days just to stay connected and let you know I'm thinking about you. Coming home whenever and wherever home is, and being genuinely happy to see you rather than it feeling obligatory or routine. Sharing meals and conversation about everything from deeply philosophical to completely mundane. Working in the same space sometimes. That parallel existence that somehow feels intimate, even though we're focused on separate things. Your input on decisions that affect us both. Because I value your perspective and want partnership rather than dictatorship. Adventures and experiences that most people never get to have, not because they're extravagant, but because my work creates unusual opportunities. Late-night conversations when neither of us can sleep, exploring ideas and feelings and possibilities together. Physical affection, holding hands and hugs and closeness, because human touch matters and connection isn't just emotional and intellectual. Laughter about absurdities and inside jokes that develop over time between people who know each other deeply. Support during your difficult moments, being present and helpful when you're struggling rather than making it about me. Celebration of your achievements and milestones, being genuinely excited about your successes. Protection when you need it, using whatever resources or influence I have to shield you from harm or help you navigate challenges. Consistency in showing up and following through on commitments, proving through actions that my words about loyalty and dedication are genuine. Let me ask you specific questions about what matters to you because I want to know if we're actually compatible or if this is just wishful thinking on my part. Do you want children? Because I have 10 already, and while I'd consider more if that mattered to you, you'd need to be comfortable joining an existing complex family dynamic. Do you want to live in one consistent location, or can you handle moving between places based on where projects need me? Because geographic stability isn't something I can currently offer. Do you need your partner to share your religious beliefs, or can you accept someone who approaches existential questions differently? Because I'm not traditionally religious, though I respect those who are. Do you need someone who maintains relationships with their exes for co-parenting purposes? Or does that create too much complication? Because I have relationships with my children's mothers that will continue regardless of who I'm with romantically. Do you value privacy, or are you comfortable with relationship details potentially becoming public despite our best efforts to maintain boundaries? Because complete privacy isn't realistic given who I am. Do you need emotional consistency, or can you handle someone whose moods vary significantly based on work stress and external pressures? Because I'm not always the same emotionally, and that affects how I show up. Do you want partnership where both people have equal input, or are you comfortable with someone who has strong opinions and makes decisions quickly based on analysis that happens largely in my head? Because I'm working on being more collaborative, but quick, decisive action is my natural mode. Do you need reassurance frequently, or can you trust that if I've committed to you, that commitment stands even when I'm not constantly expressing it? Because I show love through actions more naturally than words. Here's what I'm not looking for, so we're completely clear, and nobody wastes time on something that won't work. I'm not looking for someone who wants to change me into someone more conventional or manageable or easy. I'm not looking for someone who sees me as a project to fix or improve or make more socially acceptable. I'm not looking for someone who's intimidated by me or puts me on a pedestal or treats me like I'm fundamentally different from other humans. I'm not looking for someone who's primarily interested in the lifestyle or access or opportunities that come with being my partner. I'm not looking for someone who needs me to be their entire world or who wants to be mine, because healthy relationships require two complete people, not two halves trying to make a whole. I'm not looking for someone who can't handle conflict or disagreement, because I'd rather argue and resolve things than pretend everything's fine when it's not. I'm not looking for someone who needs constant entertainment or excitement, because real life includes lots of ordinary moments and quiet evenings and routine days. I'm not looking for someone who wants me to stop working so much or pursuing missions that consume enormous time and energy, because that's not going to change, and resenting it would poison everything. I'm not looking for someone who's going to compete with me or feel diminished by my success or need me to make myself smaller so they can feel bigger. I'm not looking for perfect. I'm looking for real and compatible and willing to build something meaningful together. What I am looking for is someone who sees me as human first, everything else second. Someone who can love both my strengths and my flaws without trying to eliminate the flaws or take me for granted because of the strengths. Someone loyal enough that I never have to question whether they'll stay when things get difficult. Someone honest enough to tell me hard truths, even when it would be easier to avoid conflict. Someone strong enough to maintain their own identity and purpose while building something with me. Someone intelligent enough to challenge my thinking and offer perspectives that make me better. Someone patient enough to understand that I'm works in progress, trying to improve but not perfect and never will be. Someone who values what I'm trying to accomplish in the world and supports those missions even when they take me away sometimes. Someone who can handle public scrutiny without letting it damage their sense of self or our relationship. Someone who wants partnership between equals rather than traditional gender roles or power dynamics. Someone who communicates directly about needs and feelings rather than expecting me to guess. Someone who has their own life and friends and interests that don't revolve around me. Someone who can laugh at absurdities, including their own and mine, because taking everything too seriously makes life unbearable. Someone whose loyalty has been tested and proven, who's shown through past actions that they stick around when sticking around is hard. I'm asking you, can you be that person? Can you love me knowing all of this, seeing all my flaws and complications and challenges clearly? Can you commit to building something real together, knowing it will require consistent effort from both of us? Can you trust that my love for you would be genuine and lasting despite my past relationship failures? Can you handle being with someone whose life is complex and public and demanding? Can you maintain your own identity and purpose while supporting mine? Can you communicate directly and honestly even when it's uncomfortable? Can you be patient with my imperfections while working on your own? Can you fight for us when things get hard rather than walking away at the first major difficulty? Because if you can do all of that, if you're that person who can love me for who I actually am, rather than who you wish I was or who the world thinks I am, then I'm offering you everything I have to give. I'm offering loyalty that won't break, commitment that won't waver, support that won't fail, honesty that won't compromise, partnership that won't diminish you, love that won't conditional. I'm offering the chance to build something meaningful together, to matter profoundly to each other, to be teammates in life navigating everything together. I'm offering my heart despite knowing how badly it can hurt when things don't work out, because not risking means definitely not finding what I'm looking for. I'm offering imperfect but genuine love from someone who's learned through painful experience what matters: loyalty, honesty, partnership, choosing each other consistently even when it's hard. I'm offering resources to help you accomplish your goals and dreams, not to control or obligate, but because supporting your success genuinely brings me joy. I'm offering protection and advocacy when you need someone fighting for you. I'm offering intellectual stimulation and deep conversation about things that matter. I'm offering physical affection and emotional connection and spiritual exploration of what we're all doing here. I'm offering consistency and reliability and follow-through on commitments made. I'm offering patience with your flaws if you'll be patient with mine. So here's my final question, asked with complete vulnerability and genuine hope. Can I be your future husband? Not someday or eventually, but actually. Can you see yourself choosing me, building with me, loving me, staying with me through everything life will throw at us? Can you imagine waking up next to me for decades, creating memories and experiences and a shared history that matters more than anything we accomplish individually? Can you trust that beneath all the complexity and challenges and public noise, there's a man who just wants to love someone completely and be loved in return? Can you believe that what I'm offering is real and valuable despite all the difficulties that come with it? If your answer is yes, if you can see possibility in building something together, then I'm here, and I'm ready, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make us work. If your answer is no or not now or I'm not sure, then I respect that completely and I'm grateful you listened to everything I needed to say. Either way, I needed to ask. I needed to be vulnerable enough to express what I want and who I am and what I'm offering. I needed to risk rejection because not risking means definitely not finding what I'm searching for. Thank you for listening to all of this. Thank you for considering the question seriously rather than dismissing it immediately. Thank you for seeing me as human rather than just as a public figure or wealthy person or controversial character. Thank you for whatever answer you give, because honest response is better than polite avoidance or false hope. And whatever you decide, I hope you find someone who loves you the way you deserve to be loved, whether that's me or someone else entirely. Everyone deserves genuine love and loyal partnership, and someone who chooses them consistently. I hope you find that, because you matter and your happiness matters and you deserve good things. Can I be your future husband? That's my question.